and thanks for joining my New Year's resolution webinar. I think this is going to be about 15 minutes long, and my goal is to set you up to pick the right resolution this year, whether that's a big audacious goal or a new habit you'd like to get into or a bad habit that you'd like to break. If you don't know me, I'm Christine Carter, and I'm a sociologist and a coach, and my goal is to take scientific research and make it really easy for you to put into practice. So even though I'm not going to cite specific studies probably in this webinar, please know that the tactics I'm about to teach you come from a review of, in this case, over 400 studies. So for this webinar, I'm going to reference the worksheet, but if you don't have it, it's not a problem. Just grab a piece of paper to write on, and let's get started. So to begin, let's start with your basic desired outcome. So what resolution do you want? It's okay to be totally vague here because we're about to get really specific. I'm going to use 3 common New Year's resolutions as examples in this webinar. The first one is to lose weight. The second one is to establish an exercise habit or to get into shape. And the third is to spend more time with friends and family. So go ahead and write down your overall goal, what you think you want your resolution to be at the top of your worksheet. Now, let's figure out why you want to do this. You might have a whole laundry list of reasons for wanting to do what you want to do, and that is awesome. But right now, I want you to think of the single most compelling way that you'll benefit when you fulfill your New Year's resolution. So go ahead and write that down on your worksheet too. Chances are that you've written down a super logical reason for maybe losing weight or exercising, like it will lower your blood pressure or something like that. So here's the thing. Even though we all like to think of ourselves as reasonable people, the truth is that logic doesn't actually motivate us nearly as much as our emotions do. This is because we approach what feels good and we avoid what feels bad. So now I want you to ask yourself not what you want to achieve in this program or what logical benefit of keeping your resolution would be, but what in your heart of hearts you actually want to feel. This is because our goal right now is to identify a why for your resolution that will motivate you over the long haul. This means that we have to let go of our logical reasons for doing our resolution. This is because research shows that good, solid, logical reasons for, say, exercising, like wanting to lower our blood pressure or ward off certain cancers, won't actually motivate us over the long haul. So let's think this through together. Maybe you want to lose weight, for example, and so you cut out all your favorite foods. That's going to be your resolution. Eat nothing delicious. I'm just kidding. So how will that make you feel? At first, it actually might make you feel great just because you've made a really healthy decision for yourself. But if you don't cheat on your diet, you'll likely soon feel deprived. And if you do cheat on your diet, you'll likely feel anxious and guilty. And both of these feeling states are unmotivating and uncomfortable, which will make it very easy for you to ditch your diet. But maybe the reason that you want to lose weight is so that you feel healthy and strong. So what if you resolve to do things that make you feel healthy and strong this year, maybe by getting in specific habits that foster your health and your strength? Feeling stronger and healthier are very motivating feeling states, which will make it easier for you to keep your new habit or your New Year's resolution. So we don't want to set a goal to lose a ton of weight or run a marathon or grow your business by 5 billion% if those things are likely to make us feel more stressed out and exhausted, because we all know that those are not resolutions that have any staying power. So let's figure out the feeling behind the resolution, and then we'll probably have to take a second look at our resolution. So on your worksheet, write down how you want to feel. So if your resolution is to lose weight, you might say, I want to feel healthy and in control of my body. Or if your resolution is to get in shape or get in an exercise habit, you might want to feel healthy and fit. And if your resolution is to spend more time with your friends, you might want to feel happy and energized. So let's look at those feeling states, how we want to feel. You can write them on your worksheet. That was my dog Buster that just was walking by. He tends to make an appearance in many of my webinars. Now, what actions and behaviors already lead you to feel what you want to feel? So if you want to feel healthy and in control of your body, for example, maybe eating really healthy in the past has made you feel this way. And if you want to feel strong and in shape, maybe hiking on steep terrain makes you feel this way. Or if you want to feel happy and energized, maybe spending one-on-one time with your closest friends has made you feel this way in the past. The important thing here is that it's something that you already have experience with. We human beings tend to be truly terrible at predicting how something will make us feel. But we do well to use our own experience to predict how we'll feel in the future. Here's an example of how we frequently go wrong. Say I'd like to feel stronger this upcoming year. This calls for a get in shape kind of a habit. So what would be a good way for me to get in shape? Let's see, I could train for a half marathon. That would be fun and ambitious. But before I start researching destination marathons, because why not make it a vacation too, I would do really well to stop myself and ask, how do I feel when I'm training for a long run? And here's the honest answer. Please do not tell Mr. Coleman, my high school running coach, this. I personally tend to feel burdened by the time commitment and kind of arthritic in my left hip and a sinking dread before each run. So can we just make a pact right now that we're not going to take on new habits that make us feel burdened and arthritic and filled with dread? On the other hand, I can think of two activities that actually do make me feel stronger. Taking long, steep hikes with my dog, although he actually got lost on the last one, so I think I'll be leaving him home next time. And then high intensity indoor workouts where I sweat a lot, so like taking a spinning class. All right, there are a few things here to keep in mind. You really do need to pick just one motivating feeling. Please trust me on this one. The research is really clear that more is not better here. A long list of reasons to, for example, exercise will not be as effective as going for a single emotion or a category of emotions. I walk every day personally because it makes me feel calm and energized and happy. And while this is technically more than one emotion, it's really the same motivator. I feel better when I walk. I'm not telling myself I'm walking to lose weight and to be healthy and to feel calm and energized and happy. So your why for your resolution needs to be a rewarding feeling that you experience when you are doing the behavior that is a part of your resolution, or at the very least immediately after it. So if you want your resolution to be hiking several times a week, for example, hiking, and you want your feeling to be energized, hiking must actually make you feel energized while you are hiking or right after, or it won't work as a motivator. Feeling energized won't work as a motivator. So I know I'm being really repetitive here, but I'm going to say it again. Logical, non-emotional, and long-term reasons for doing your resolution tend to be quite ineffective. And if you can't identify an emotional why, you probably won't be successful with your resolution. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news there. But this probably isn't the first time you've tried to get yourself into this resolution. Most people need to look no further than their own past for evidence that certain things do not motivate us to change our behavior. So just think about how you really want to feel, and then think about what activity already makes you feel this way. The next thing that we want to do is to think about what habit we can make out of a behavior. So perhaps eating spinach at breakfast has made you feel healthy, and that's your feeling in the past. So then your habit could be eating the same breakfast every morning that includes spinach. Or perhaps you could get into the habit of going on hikes with friends on the weekends. Or you could schedule a weekly lunch with your best friend or a quarterly book club, because that sort of routinizes it by knowing that you're going to be doing it every week on the first Monday. Well, I guess Monday is always the first day of the week. Or your quarterly book club, this is a better example, is always on the first Monday of the month, for example. Well, that really doesn't work. The first Monday of the quarter, if it's a quarterly book club, but maybe if it's monthly, it could be the first of the month. Okay, anyway, all right. So now it's just a question of establishing the habit. And the good news is that we know how this is done from a neuroscience standpoint. We're going to program that into your brain. That's the call that we'll be having on January to talk about how to set it up to become a habit. But before then, we want to finish this goal setting worksheet because we want to make our actions more specific and more measurable, and we want to give ourselves a timeline. Those are things that really will help us. And this also, I love this part of it, it enables us to use both parts of our brain, both the logical and analytical side of our brain and the emotional side of things, because we've talked about our feelings, and now this all gets a little bit more analytical. So going back to the worksheet, now we're going to state the long-term goal. What would you like to accomplish in the next 6 months to a year? That's the long-term goal. State this both in terms of the outcome you're looking for, hopefully a habit, and the emotion you believe that this habit will foster. So perhaps you want to lose weight so that you feel more confident and healthy or in control of your body by getting into the habit of having the same low-carb, spinach-filled breakfast 6 days per week. Or maybe you want to get in shape so that you feel healthy and strong by doing high-intensity workouts on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Or maybe you want to spend more time with your friends and family so that you feel happy and energized by scheduling that weekly lunch and quarterly book club. Now, take a second to make sure that what you've written down, go ahead and write down that long-term goal, and then look at it. Is it actually achievable in a year? And is it actually realistic for you given the life stage that you're in? All right, so the next step is to break your long-term goal down into medium-term goals. And those are the ones that take up to 3 months to accomplish. So a medium-term goal might be to lose 10 pounds, for example, by April 1st. And I always add the specific feeling and the specific behavior in there. So in this case, it would be lose 10 pounds by April 1st so that I feel healthy and in control of my body by getting into the habit of having the same low-carb, spinach-filled breakfast 6 days a week or something like that. Or a medium-term goal could be to have 10 streaks or weeks in which you finished your morning high-intensity workout on Tuesday and Thursday and taken a hike with a friend on the weekend so that you feel healthy and strong. Or another medium-term goal might be to have 10 lunches and gatherings with friends by April 1st so that I feel happy and energized. All right, now we're going to break it down again into short-term goals, which take 1 to 3 weeks to accomplish. So a little bit, longer than the week that you're in, but less time than a month. And here are some examples of short-term goals. So you could plan, shop for, and create your 2 spinach-filled breakfasts, for example, that you can repeat again and again and make 6 days in a row. Or you could choose a high-intensity workout to complete. So you could, a short-term goal might be to redesign your morning schedule to fit those in. Or it might be to have 3 streaks or weeks in which you finished your morning high-intensity workout on Tuesday and Thursday and hikes with your friend on the weekend so that you feel healthy and strong. So, here's another one. You might want to just reach out to friends and see if they want to schedule something on a regular basis and agree on a schedule and have lunch, do the first one next Thursday. So you might schedule a lunch on Thursday and a hike on Sunday or something like that. All right, now we're going to break it down yet again. You know this if you've looked at the worksheet. This time we're going to break it down into specific, ridiculously easy baby steps. So this is just, what can you do today? What could you do tomorrow? Perhaps you plan one breakfast and you make a grocery list. Or you ask your brother about that 7-minute workout video that he really likes. Or you text a friend. What we want to do is break these big goals down all the way into baby steps until we feel they are so easy that we don't really have any resistance to them. And this is because behavior change is hard for us human beings, and we don't like to make big changes. We like to be in our old familiar patterns. It's just our nervous system is set up that way. And so when we break things down to littler and littler steps, our nervous system doesn't really know to resist it. It's just kind of a little bit of a trick. Okay, friends, that is it for today. I'm going to stop here because you are now well on your way to establishing a New Year's resolution that you can actually keep. Our next step, as I already mentioned, is to start programming the habit into our brain. So the trick is going to be to establish a consistent anchor and rewards that actually prompt our brains to repeat the behaviors that we want them to repeat. And so we're going to talk about that on our group coaching call. And I hope that you're able to join us for that. And if not, you can always listen to the recording at your leisure. So I'm definitely going to do some more teaching on this in the January coaching calls. And I'll also answer questions and kind of get you all set up for success. So I'm also going to be answering questions about setting up your New Year's resolutions and getting started in the coaching group forum. That is a great way. If you have questions about this, just go ahead and ask them there. I'm sure other people have questions as well. And I can answer as many questions as there are in that for the Brave Over Perfect coaching. So if you want to really get ahead of things, even if we haven't had that January call, go ahead and leave your question there and I will do my best to answer it. Thank you all so much. It's been a pleasure. This is one of my favorite topics. So I look forward to talking about it more with you in the call.